Hey everybody, and welcome to another magazine flip through. Now today we're going to have a look at Wargames Illustrated, and this is issued 453 September 2025. They're calling this issue, let me see over here, they're calling this one Retreat, Regroup, Rearguard. 4 theme articles in this issue. Now when you're wargaming, I mean, a lot of folks play the standard, two armies face off and they battle and stuff like that. But these 3 elements, retreat, regroup, and rearguard, in a war game, very rarely is done, except perhaps in like campaigns or perhaps in those one-off narrative games, right? It's never really tested. I mean, in tournament level, how to accomplish any of these, right? Retreat, regroup, and doing a rearguard action, right? So I was very excited when I saw this was the theme to this issue, because yeah, it's not exactly something that people usually play. I mean, even here at the store, back in the day when I used to, ask folks if they want to play a rearguard action, then not very many people are excited about that. They want to spend their weekend doing a face-off one-on-one, mano a mano, and stuff like that, just to see how well they do. But hey, these 3 elements, right, really does test a general's skill at leading and doing a battle. So I was quite excited about this. So yeah, the cover is what I think is Dunkirk. It looks like Dunkirk, and I think I just double checked here. It's a Neil Roberts cover. So yeah, table of contents, and then the call to subscribe. If you haven't, go ahead subscribe, because you've got this. You get the cover art, without all the other distractions in the front, and then we have the observation post, which is one of my more favorite parts of the magazine. Now here we see brigade models, and it's the station crew. This is for your Stargrave game. Now I actually back when I was looking around for figures and stuff like that, I did come across brigade models, and they actually carry the Hammer Slammer series figures. I mean, if you don't know what that is, go check it out. It's great fiction. It's actually quite fun. Yeah, so Hammer Slammers, brigade models does those figures, and in this one, why they are releasing this is because these figures are inspired by movies like Alien and Star Wars. So I thought that was kind of interesting. The other interesting thing that I thought was interesting about Brigade is the fact that they've got this thing happening here. They got this little slots and to put into the base, right? Hang on, let me just see if I can get it here for you. Right there. So you can't really move it around the base so much, but it slots you in, which is, it's good and bad. It's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. So yeah, Brigade models, station crew for Stargrave. And then you got Osprey Games' Frostgrave Advanced Spellcraft. Now, I have the book at the moment. I'm not so sure if anybody's interested for me to do a flip through of what's inside. If you are, let me know, and in the comments, and I'll flip through the Frostgrave Advanced Spellcraft. It's been 10 years since Frostgrave. Can you believe it? So and this one actually, what it does is it adds on, it expands on the spells in the book and stuff like that. Moving along, we got Victrix, and Victrix's medieval foot knights. Here at the store, a lot of guys are very excited about this kit, and they'll be coming in kind of soon, for me at least. And you can see over here the hobby corner. It tells you how difficult or how easy the kit is. Yeah, apparently some of the bits are not so easily interchangeable, but as you can see from the figures that they have here, the pictures, right? It looks good on its own. So yeah, so that's Victrix's medieval foot knights. And then you've got a book. I think these books on the Irish kingdoms. I'll be honest. I'm not so sure. I'm not very familiar with this period or this history. So I can't really say much about it. But this book's out. And then we have Wayland Games. With an ad. Thank you so much. And then Victrix hard plastic. These are the World War II stuff. A lot of guys who've actually acquired these really like them, which is a great thing for Victrix. They also just released the heavy weapon set, which is kind of interesting because you want, if you want extra heavy weapons and you want different setups, right, and loadouts, you can get that set. But this one is just for the just the infantry platoon. And then you got Artisan Designs with an advert. Now the release radar is one of those articles which, again, these are ones I use to help me with my browsing when looking for figures. And this one, the theme is the terrain, right? At least for the first two pages. And as you can see, it's all different companies, battle scale and stuff like that. You got Irregular, you got Patrick Miniatures, and then you got Oshiro and Battle Kiwi and stuff like that. And then other miniature ranges that he Domsor, yeah, wants you to have a look at and check out. All these are look like really nice looking figures, and it's from periods which again I'm not so aware of, and perhaps that's why magazines like this are good, because later when you get into them, all you gotta do is just flip through the old magazines and read the old review of what they are. You got stuff from Empress, bloody miniatures. You got stuff from White Dragon, and what's that, Spithead miniatures? That's what they call it. And then they got Kurasan. Oh, look at that, Kurasan 15mm Lizardman, excellent. Oh, and this, my Osiris is missing. What is this? This is okay, Wargames rules, my Oath Sire. Okay, cool. Moving along, we got Ark Royal miniatures. This is the first time I've seen this. I don't know what this is. They've got a rule set called Mad for War, which is a great it's a great name for a rule set, I must say. It's naval warfare, which is cool. I'm a big fan of naval warfare, albeit fantasy, but yeah, naval is kind of cool. I always like naval because the terrain you need on the table is much less as compared to something like Infinity. Anyways, an ad from First Corps with their 28mm American Civil War. And then this quickfire article was interesting to me. Why? Because this is the fan model show, and apparently now this is one of those shows that concentrates on the painting. And I did not know stuff like that existed, being halfway across the world. So this was interesting read, because most trade shows concentrating on either sellers, big companies selling their wares, or more wargaming centric shows. But this was more for painting, which I thought was excellent. Moving along, we got Conflict 47. By the time you watch this video, it's already out. And this is the alternate history, post World War II, I suppose, from Wargames Illustrated. Check that out. Look at that walker. That's a beast right there. All right, into the article. Now this article was excuse me. Now this article was a good read, a really good read, because it identifies the different types of withdrawals or retreats that you're gonna have, right? And it's very well written, because it's got these things like for your consideration, which I thought was like a great part of the article, because it gives you a historical reference for you to go into and read, right? So the writer talks about the strategic withdrawal, and you got, let me see now, Kisan is the 1968 Kisan. US withdrawal is the historical reference for you to jump off from. And then you got over here the forced withdrawal. And also they tell you what are the elements of the different kinds of withdrawal or high morale. Like, for example, for a strategic withdrawal, if troops are in high morale, right? And stuff like that, which is great. It's a breakdown on this action, right? The withdrawal action. Anyways, they talked about the forced withdrawal, and Marines from Chosin Reservoir 1950 is used as an example of this. And then you got a disastrous withdrawal. it's Napoleon's retreat from Leipzig, 1813. And then you got the wait, there's one more. Disastrous. Let me see. Let me just very quickly. Forced. Strategic. I think there's a tactical. Yeah. No, sorry. Tactical was chosen. Forced withdrawal was Leipzig. Yeah. And then you got a disastrous withdrawal. And the rout at Teutoburg Forest, which is if you know anything about this conflict, I mean this battle, it was definitely a massacre. Anyways, moving along, we got the cultural experience, and this tour is Napoleon in Italy. Moving on to the next article. The next article is Project 1066 and all that. Now this article is interesting because I think I have read tons of wargaming articles over the last decades, right? Decades. And what really hooks you into an article is the background of the article. And in this one, you have story of father, getting into the period because the son's a sculptor. So I thought that was a nice, really nice angle to go with it, to accompany the article and give it an arc. So I really like this article. It was a really good read. Anyways, there's a Silver Bayonet, Britain, and this is new. Bones of Albion, that should be out by now, I think. Okay, next up, Battle of Chickamauga, 1863. Now, I'll be the first to say I do not know much about the American Civil War. Although I've been, wargaming now for decades, right? I'm not so sure why I don't do this period, to be honest. I mean, apart from a couple of games that I've had on the side, right? I don't feel a strong need to collect the army. I have painted the epic American Civil War, but that's about as far as I went in terms of painting armies for American Civil War. But anyways, this is the Battle of Chickamauga, and it says here it's a case study in retreat, regroup, and rearguard action. It's a good article actually. I mean, obviously, when it's a game, it's played. You read the thoughts of the players, right? It compels you to try out ACW. Yeah, maybe I still have time left, to in life to give this a go at some point. Anyways, the next bit is Color 2025. It should be done by the time this video comes out, and then Heinz Figures Limited. Next up is this article over here, which I thought was also a very, very good article. And this is painting 28, and then I think this is 15. I think, let me just double check. Well, smaller, right? So when you play it smaller, how do you go about it, right? Yes, 15. How do you go about it? Where do you lighten up? I mean, by my experience painting, moving from 20 mm to 13.5, the epic ones, I think going brighter is usually the answer. But over here, as you can see, the writer gives a lot of examples, right? On how to tackle a much smaller figure as opposed to 28 mm figure. I mean, I personally believe that if you're playing historicals, at some point you'll drop scale scale down at some point. So this is a very good article. Anyways, moving along, you got Rubicon models with their range, and these are the World War II 156. Then we got the Partisan Game Show, which is, it should be done by now. It's October 12th. And then you got Hellion and Company with their books. Now here is another period that I do not know very, very well. And this is the let me see now. It's Kabul, right? I really do not know this period. But it's really nice that they pointed at Empress miniatures. What you see over here, which is, it's kind of cool. With periods that I do not know very, very well, but I'm very I can't really say much about it, but the figures look nice, and we're all figure fans when it comes to this hobby. But it's a good read. Let me just say it's a good read. It's just that when I'm reading stuff like this, right? I tend to have to go back and read references to find context for the articles, which is good. But I'll be the first to say I do not know this period very, very well. Anyways, these are all the scenarios you've got. Got scenario 1 in scenario 2. And these are all scenarios that he's built, for the theme of the magazine. Next up is the Battle of Boars Hill, and this is one of the tables at Partizan, which is nice. I always like looking at gaming tables at shows, right? Because they pull out all the stops here, and you got all these nice pictures, which I've come to expect from a show, a feature on a table at a show, right? All these nice figures, and then you've got the a little bit of talk about the table a little bit, the rules they use. Which rules they use? Oh yeah, for this game they use Hail Caesar. If you're attempting to do large table games, Hail Caesar is the preferred game to go with. Okay, next article is called Ni Plus Ultra, and this is actually an article from the writer of, let me see if I can scroll. Yeah, Arc Royal Miniatures. We have Arc Royal Miniatures, rulebook Mad for War, which I thought was a great title, and here is the game based on it, using these rules, which is, I thought was good. I thought it was great. The first time I hear about it, and I get to look at the game being played, or being talked about, which I thought was fantastic. Pictures are really, really nice, which always helps when you're doing an article about a game. Next up, Mons Graupius Refight, and this is from an article in the July issue of Wargames Illustrated, and they decide to refight it. Now, what is kind of interesting about this game? They use this rule set called To the Strongest, which I'm now very, very curious about. Why? Because wait, let me just show you. Firstly, the game does not use dice; it uses cards. I thought that was interesting, man. I thought that was really, really interesting. And then the game also uses this thing, victory medals, where whatever victories you get, you pass the victory coin over, or the medal across, which I thought was a great way to track who's winning, right? But anyways, yeah, this is a good old fashioned battle report, turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, which I think is nice because it gives you a feel of the rule set. Also, it's got nice pictures. But yes, I do wanna have a look at this rule set, To the Strongest. Very interesting, very interesting. Oh, by the way, there's a QR code here. If you scan, they'll show you how they built the table. All right. And now we have a personality kind of thing, personality interview. Great Wars, no goblins. This is World War One, and how these two, let me say, it's James Morris and Alex Southern, and how they got into playing World War One, which I thought was kind of cool. It's I like articles like this because it's you get to know the people, and the decisions make. I mean, whenever I even do videos for my channel, I usually want to know the story behind everything, right? And an article like this, yeah, it works. It works for me. It tickles my fancy for sure. Moving along, designer notes for Dragon Rampart 2nd edition. It's out, man. Everybody's having 2nd editions at the moment, and as you can see over here, the designer talks about it, which I think is kind of cool. It's always great when a new edition comes out, and there's an interview with the designer, so the thoughts behind the book. So yeah, Dragon's Rampant 2nd edition. So that's that. Next up is the Battle of Aliwal 1846, and again, this is the it's the Anglo sequel, or the sequels, which again I do not know anything about. But hey, look at the figures. Let me just show you. The figures look nice. Figures look nice. The flags look nice. The tables look nice. These are the kind of things I fall for so easily. So yeah, these are the pictures and the article, bit of background. Again, with stuff like this, I'm gonna have to go back and read for context, right? But it's also nice that they've got this section over here for further reading, which is very, very helpful if I can acquire these books. Okay, moving along. Club Focus. Now this is new and I kind of like it. And this is because where in Malaysia, we are just seeing the beginning of gaming clubs. As for wargaming clubs, not so many, but articles like this is good for my country, Malaysia, right? Why? Because it will push folks to start starting their own clubs, right? And clubs are crucial for trying out different games, meeting new people and stuff like that. Previously our store was the place to go to, right? But there are only so many games we can run, and there's so many games we can focus on. But have a look at this place over here. Look at the amount of tables. It's very nice, very pretty looking place. And this is in South Australia, Group North. A very nice article, at least for me, to browse. I mean, it pertains to a game shop like mine. There's advertisements from Skytrack Miniatures, Mardev Miniatures, Art Master Studio, North Star, Athena, Gunfighter's Ball. Ooh, man with no name. I keep looking at this knuckle dusters, right? And every time they feature a miniature, I'm interested. They had the Lemmy miniature previously, so I think it's time to dig and go get some figures. Anyways, you've got Dixon miniatures over here. Wings, and I've got some old Dixons actually. If you're interested, I could do a miniature miniature showcase of my old Dixons. But again, let me know if you're interested, and I'll probably do that. Next up, we got Tumbling Dice's rules. Tumbling Dice. Yeah. I've had some games with some Tumbling Dice rule sets. Really nice rule set, easy to play. Yeah, and then my Oathsire, and then you got all these different adverts as well, and then you got the here's next issue. Next issue, you get the free Conflict 47 frames, which okay, I'm quite excited about it. And it's a free frame. I'm a sucker for free frames. Give me a free frame, I'll go get it. Yeah, and you have a choice between the US Firefly Airborne Infantry or the Axis Stahltruppen Heavy Infantry. So these guys are these guys. And then the Legend series, which I'm quite excited about. Sharp's Rifle, and this is that Sharp miniature, which I think yeah, I think the box comes with 2 figures, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, the back of the page is always Creeping Beast, and over here they've got a deal, right? Choose any 3 boxes and Creeping Beast plastics, 3 or 5, what was that? 3 or 5 deals. So there's a deal for 3 boxes or 5 boxes, which is cool. So that's pretty much it. That is Wargames Illustrated 253. Really good issue actually, if you ask me. It's got articles which I personally like. Now, if you like me flipping through magazines, let me know. Give me some encouragement. I'll still keep on doing this, but hey, you don't know how I would love some feedback on the videos, especially these flipping pages ones. So we're done. Like and subscribe as per usual, and don't forget to enjoy painting those figures.